So I directly explain you with the help of a question. Suppose you need to check that, you need to show that this given value of u satisfies the partial differential equation uxx plus uyy is equal to 0. Okay, so what do we mean by satisfying the partial differential equation or not? It means that when we substitute the value of u at these two places and we add it, we should get it equal to 0. So what actually this means? Uxx means the second partial derivative of u with respect to x, and uyy means the second partial derivative of u with respect to y. So to get the second partial derivative, what we should do? We have u, so first we should get ux, that is the first partial derivative, and then we should get the second partial derivative with respect to x. Similarly, now we should differentiate. Here we differentiated with x, here with y. So we differentiate again with y to get uyy. So we need to get these two values and add it and prove that this left side, this is your left side, it is equal to 0. When you add the left side, it comes equal to 0. So now when we are differentiating partially with respect to x, how do we do that? When we differentiate partially with respect to x, what we will do? We consider y as a constant. So here when we are differentiating, we differentiated x power 4, that gives you 4x power 3. Then here y is a constant, 2 is a constant. We differentiate just x power 3. X power 3, this derivative gives you 3x power 2. Now 3 multiplied 2 gives you 6. So 6x power 2 y. Minus, again here you are differentiating only the x term. Its derivative is 2x. So 6 times 2 gives you 12x, and y square as a constant kept same. Here we differentiate x, the derivative of x becomes 1. So you get 2y power 3. And here we have only y power 4, which is a constant. So derivative becomes 0. Okay, this is the first derivative. Now we want the second derivative. So now we differentiate this term with respect to x again. This gives, okay, so we can do that thing, or let's first find the derivative with respect to y. Okay, I'll explain you this later. So when you are differentiating with respect to x again, what will happen? Now you are using this and differentiated with respect to x by considering y as a constant. Okay, so we will get this term. So what will happen here? You differentiate x power 3. This gives you 3x power 2. So when you multiply 4 with 3, you will get 12. 12x power 2. Here you differentiate x power 2, which gives you 2x. So 6 multiplied 2, 12xy. Since y being a constant, you kept y same. Here derivative of x becomes 1. So you left with 12y square. And here you since it's having only y, which is a constant, so it becomes 0. So you don't have any term here. Now similarly, we work with y. Now this is the derivative with y. So when we are differentiating with respect to y, we consider x as constant. Okay. Now when we are keeping x as a constant here, we are differentiating. Now we are beginning with this because we are talking about the first derivative. So now see, x power 4, x is a constant, so its derivative is 0. Now see the term 2x power 3y. We are differentiating y term whose derivative is 1. So we left with minus 2x power 3 times y. So we get this term. Okay, minus 6 is constant, x square is a constant. We have the function of y as y square, which we differentiate gives you 2y. So we can multiply 6 with 2, gives you 12. X square is same times y. Here we have y power 3. So it gives you 3y square. Okay, so 3 times 2, 6xy square. And this y power 4 gives you 4y power 3. So we get this term. Okay, this is derivative with respect to y, the first derivative. Now we need to find second derivative. So to find the second partial derivative with respect to y, we differentiate this term by considering x as a constant. So now look at the first term. We have minus 2x power 3. All are constant, so it becomes 0. Okay, here the derivative of y, it is 1. So we left with minus 12x square. It gives you this term. And when we differentiate this one, y square derivative is 2y. 6 times 2, 12xy. Y power 3, 3y square. This gives you 12y square. So we get these two terms. Now let's go to the given differential equation. Okay, this is the thing. So we consider the left side. So we start with the left side. Left side is uxx plus uyy. So uxx is this term. 12x square minus 12xy minus 12y square. This is the term for uxx. Okay. And uyy is this term which we put here. uyy. Okay. Now what we can see here, if we check the signs, 12x square and here minus 12x square, these two terms got cancelled. Minus 12xy plus 12xy, these two terms same but opposite in sign got cancelled. This one minus 12y square plus 12y square, these things got cancelled. So this gives you 0, which is same as the right hand side, same as the right side. So hence this value of u satisfy, hence u satisfies the given partial differential equation. I am using the small notation PDE for partial differential equation. So this is what you have to do. So you can get it from the equation that which derivatives you have to find. So now you can see that here it is mentioned that verify that u, which is a function of r and theta, satisfy the partial differential equation, satisfy this partial differential equation. Okay, it's not necessary that you always get right hand side equal to 0. Sometimes it can be asked like show that the same value of u satisfy the partial differential equation that curly 2u by curly r square, or you can say the second partial derivative with respect to r and with respect to theta is equal to minus r cosine of theta. So what basically you have to do is calculate the value in the left hand side and then equate it to the right hand side. So here, as here it is required the second partial derivative with respect to r and theta. So let's work on it. This is how we work. U is r cos theta e power r sin theta. Now when we differentiate it with respect to r, we consider theta as constant. So derivative of r gives you 1. So we left with cosine of theta. Derivative of e power r, same, e power r. So we left with e power r sin theta. Now after that, since here we need the second derivative, see you can also write it as u r r plus u theta theta is equal to minus r cosine of theta. Okay, so u r r, it means now you are differentiating this again by considering theta as constant. So here as theta is a constant, there is no term, it will become 0. And here you have e power r, derivative will be e power r sin theta, same. Okay, you got this term. Fine. Now we differentiate with respect to theta by considering r as a constant. Okay, so when it is about u theta, it's minus r sine theta. Why? Because when you are differentiating it with respect to theta, you have to differentiate cosine of theta. Derivative of cos theta is minus sine theta. So when you multiply, you get minus r sine theta plus e power r is a constant, differentiation of sine theta, which is cosine of theta. So it gives you e power r cosine of theta. Okay, now we need the second derivative, so we differentiate it again by considering r as a constant. So now derivative of sine theta is cosine of theta, so we get minus r cosine of theta. Derivative of cosine theta become minus sine theta. So it gives you minus e power r minus sine theta. So let's consider this equation. So left side, we need to add this value and this value plus r cosine theta. So this is the value of r, the second derivative with respect to r. This is the value for u theta theta, the second derivative with respect to theta plus r cosine theta. So let's see here, e power r sine theta. Can we get the similar term here? Yes, this is the term with same term with opposite sign, and this term same with this with difference in sign. So this gives you 0, which is the right hand side. Okay, so it means it again satisfies the partial differential equation. So in the same way, you can work with different values of u. See here, the u will change and the partial differential equation change. So you just need to find the derivative, substitute it here and get the result. Similarly, you can be this one and you have the different partial differential equation. You may prove that it is equal to 2x. Okay, so these are the kind of questions that can be asked. Similarly, it can involve x, t, pi and n. So here now you have to show that it satisfies the one-dimensional wave equation. So you need second partial derivative with respect to t and second time partial derivative with respect to x. So now you can see that it is function of variable x and t. Other things pi, c and l, these are considered to be constant. Okay, so we will work one by one. When we differentiate with respect to x, so what will happen? Derivative of sine multiplied by this one. Okay, just a moment, I should correct it. It should be here cosine pi x over l multiplied by the coefficient of pi by l, coefficient of x, because we use the concept, if it is sine ax, its derivative gives you cosine ax times a. So this is what happened here. Similarly, when we differentiate it again, so this cosine will become minus of sine and you get pi by l again. Okay, this function is not changed because it's a function of t. Now when we differentiate it with respect to t, we are differentiating the second term. So derivative of cos will become minus sine. Okay, and here derivative of sine will become cosine. So we got these two terms. Now let's come to the left side. This is your left side. We have to multiply 1 over c square with the second derivative of t, means this one. So for the equation, we need only this term, this one and this one. So when we put 1 over c square, second partial derivative of u with respect to t, this value when we select from here, we get this value. which is nothing but this. So let's see the working here. If I multiply 1 over c square with second partial derivative with t, so it is 1 over c square, second partial derivative with t minus u naught pi c over l square, and this term sine pi x over l cos pi ct over l. Okay, so when we expand it, it will be minus 1 over c square u naught pi square c square over l square. Okay, this term sine pi x over l cosine pi ct over l. Then we can cancel c square with c square. So we left with this term, which is nothing but the second partial derivative with respect to x. Hence,